and welcome to Cooking in Confined Spaces, London. Today we are rolling up some bite-sized white chocolate covered red velvet cake balls. I'm actually bringing them to a party tonight, so we don't have much time, so we must get started. So what you're gonna need is some flour. You're gonna want some flour, you're gonna want some unsweetened cocoa. You're gonna want some sprinkles. Doesn't matter what kind of sprinkles you get, anything just to decorate the balls with is what you want to make it look beautiful and chic. You're gonna want some baking soda. You're also gonna want some red dye food coloring. This will give your red velvet cake a red look to it. You're gonna want some vanilla extract. You're gonna also want some butter, a big stick of butter. You want some cream cheese, some white chocolate bars or chocolate chips, white chocolate chips. You're gonna want some sugar, some salt, and some milk. I have whole milk here. The recipe actually calls for buttermilk, but I couldn't get it at the mini mart here in London, so I went with whole milk. We're also gonna do some vinegar, and last but not least, you're gonna want 6 eggs. So we have 6 eggs cracked here. Now we're ready to start mixing the butter and sugar. So there's some room temperature butter. I'm gonna plug in this handheld mixer here, which in this nice confined kitchen we only have 1 electrical socket, which makes cooking on holidays a bit challenging, because if you want to be mixing mashed potatoes here or baking a cake and you have a few people in here, it could be a bit tight squeeze, all fighting for electrical sockets. I also get ready in here. I blow dry my hair in here because Londoners do not believe in putting electrical sockets into the bathroom. So I have to blow dry my hair in the kitchen and use the microwave as my mirror so I can see my reflection. So let's just go ahead and start doing the butter here. I think we could all just survive on sugar and butter. Yeah. So now I'm going to start adding the eggs one at a time. So I have 6 eggs, I'm adding one at a time. Until that's all mixed up, and then you add the other one in. We're ready to include the unsweetened cocoa. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. So there's 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. There's that. That's done. Then we're also going to, after I mix the cocoa, we're going to add the food coloring. So we're going to mix it. So we just mixed in the cocoa. Now we're ready to mix in the food coloring. Now, I would use 2 tablespoons. I have about 1 tablespoon left, so we're just gonna hope that it comes out nice and pretty pink or dark red. If not, it'll look like chocolate. So we just mixed in the cocoa and the food coloring. Again, I would use 2 tablespoons of red food coloring. I had only 1 tablespoon, so this is the color that I was able to get. It's a nice light pink. I don't know if it quite looks like the inside of an armadillo, but it's close, it's close. So now we're going to put in the flour and the milk. Use buttermilk if you can. I'm using whole milk. I'm sure it's going to taste just as amazing. And so I'm going to start mixing that in, and then we'll do the vanilla after the milk. Alright, so I'm just put half flour in now and mix that. Now I'm pouring the milk in. I'm going to actually do half a cup of milk, and then add the rest of the flour and then some more milk and be done. Alright. So that's all mixed. Now we're ready to put in the vanilla extract. I just put about a tablespoon in. About a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to put some salt. About a half a teaspoon of salt in. That's good. Had to get a little taste. And then we want to do some baking soda. We're going to do a tablespoon of baking soda. So our cake rises. Okay. Now we're ready to start blending. And I'm gonna add the vinegar in just a minute. Ready to add some vinegar. Do about a tablespoon of vinegar. And this actually will keep it moist. You can do vinegar or sour cream. Those two both help keep your cake nice and moist and chewy. Alright, let's blend that up. I'm just going to use some butter here and grease the pan so our cake doesn't stick. And I just, about 5 minutes ago, started to preheat the oven. You want your oven, if you're watching in America, to be at 250, about 250 degrees. Here, you want to be at about 170. I don't know if it's degrees or Celsius or what it is here. I am still trying to learn the metric system over here. And it's funny because I was actually at an outing yesterday and I ran into a couple also from America who had, they've been having troubles trying to cook themselves, and they said they haven't even bought measurements. They're just guessing. And it was cute because the wife of the couple, she said, I'm actually using a wine glass to measure everything, and I don't even know how much is in a wine glass. And I said, I feel your pain. I'm doing the same thing, because you'll have a recipe here that's in grams or milliliters, then it goes to ounces, and you're like, wait, and you're trying to do the conversions into cups and ounces, and then there's pints, so it does get a little bit confusing. Another thing to watch for if you end up coming to live in London. But it does kind of make you a better chef because you learn what you like and what the recipe calls for naturally. Alright, so that's all nice and greased. The oven's at 170 here, 250 for you. I already started melting a bit of the chocolate bars, and now we're going to be ready to put the cake mixture into the pan. So let's go ahead and do that. My hands have been very dry lately, so I'm going to just put the butter in my hands and use it as moisturizer. It's like shea butter or cocoa butter. Alright, so now, try to get over here by you. I'm gonna pop these out, maybe take a sampling. This is always so much fun as when you're a kid. Or when I was a kid, it was so much fun to get these mixer utensils and eat the rest of it. Oh my god. I think I can just eat it raw. Oh wow. Oh yeah. That is amazing. Amazing. That's really good. Right, now these I am gonna wash. I'm not gonna rub those into my hand or my face. Okay, so now we're ready to put the cake mixture in the pre-greased pan, and then we'll let it bake for maybe 25 minutes or until it's done. I always get so excited having chocolate desserts. Alright, we can lick the bowl, or you can lick the bowl. You want to lick the rest of this? Come on over. Alright, just dropped a little bit on the floor. We don't actually have our dog here in London, so she can't pick up after us, but I don't mind going and being her for a little bit and licking up that. So now we're gonna put this nice red velvet chocolate cake mixture into the confined oven where magic happens. Whoa! Alright. I'm going to set the timer for a good 25 minutes. Okay, so I went ahead and set aside some of the cake, and I have it in this bowl here. I'm going to add a little bit of cream cheese to act like glue so I can mold them into balls. So I'm just going to add a little bit here. 2 tablespoons. And then it's typically better to try to do it with your hands and just mush it up. And again, you want to do this when the brownie's a bit cool. You don't want it too hot. Okay, so now I'm taking the baked cake with a little bit of cream cheese and I'm rolling them into balls. So all you need to do is take the whole entire cake pan out of the oven, throw it into a large bowl, put a package of cream cheese in it, and just mush it all together and then start rolling balls. And then once you have the whole mix used up, and everything's into balls, then you go ahead and throw it into the freezer, and then you will dip it into some white chocolate. Alright, so we are now pulling out the cake balls from the freezer. They're in the freezer for a good 45 minutes, and now they should be able to be dipped into the white chocolate. And then we'll just keep doing this until all the chocolate balls are covered. Or cake balls, I'm sorry. Until all the cake balls are covered. So we're just gonna sprinkle some of these orange sugar balls onto the cake balls. And then I'm gonna also maybe sprinkle a little green. Why not? Close the rest. Little green sprinkles. See, how pretty is that? This would be nice for like a bridal shower, a baby shower. You could do it for Christmas and do it in like green and red. So if you want, you can even add a little purple lavender. So how pretty is that? So I'm gonna do all of those just like that, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and at least try one of them, right? Might wanna wait till it cools off a little bit, but I'm not very patient. What you should do is probably let the chocolate cool off a good maybe 10 minutes in the refrigerator, and then bring them out before you go to the party. Alright, so let's take a bite. Yum! Mmm, my god. Mmm. Oh my god. I don't think I've had anything quite like this before. Wow. Oh wow. Go to Cooking in Confined Spaces to learn more. I'll finish these up for you.